Hello, my loves. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here with you today. So much has been coming through about the current energies leading up to the solstice into the beginning of July. As I know many of you have felt, the energy has been intense lately since the eclipses. You can refer to my last episode to learn more about what those energies were bringing in. I will put a link to that below. Now, lately, I have been channeling so much about the current energy surrounding the solstice. And it is perhaps too much to read to you, but there are common themes. So I have selected some excerpts channeled by different guides to share with you about the current energy, as well as how to navigate the energy during this time, and an exercise to help you utilize this time to benefit you, and perhaps create less resistance and more gratitude, even when the shifting feels uncomfortable. Now, I asked my guides what this time is ushering in for the collective, and this is what they said. This portal, the eclipses, the solstice, is energizing something within the people to be more fully present in their lives. Energized to make a shift, a timeline shift in consciousness and awareness in the soul, for being connected to spirit. This is a great shift in unity consciousness. It is happening all over the world. So in other channeling sessions, I am receiving similar messages that this is a great time of awakening and returning to the self. So there are a few themes I want to touch on. One is that we are currently in a void, and I will explain what that means and why that is a gift right now. Two is the topic of polarity. That has been coming up a lot from several guides. And finally, I will speak about becoming the authentic self, what that means exactly, and how shifting your perspective on polarity can help you unleash or uncover who you truly are and what you truly want in this life, who you came here to be. So let's start with the current energy of being in the void. Being in the void can feel like not knowing what to do next, like being pulled back or feeling unsure. There was a lot of momentum forward earlier in the year, about a few months ago. There was more clarity and energy to create, but after the eclipses and leading up to the solstice, we are feeling more like we are in the unknown. There has been a lot of turbulent energy, and this can be really uncomfortable for a lot of people that need to feel like they know what is coming next. And that is most of us, right? That is our conditioning. So I want to read to you what I channeled from Thoth and Merlin. They always come to me together when I'm channeling them because they are the same energy. We are gathered here today to tell you about the energies presently circulating your earth and the universe. In this cosmic web of reality, as we all know it, our perception-based reality occurs in time and space on this earth planet. You are being called to go within to the void. The void within seeks acknowledgement. Acknowledgement of the self lies there. Going into the void scares some of you. It feels like nothingness. But from nothing is the womb. The creation spawns from the nothingness. The 0 point, as some call it. Go within to that space, to the void. Imagine within you, you have a dark womb where it is quiet, where there is infinite space. Be there for a while. This void is coming to you as a reset, infinitely occurring throughout the cycles of earth, of life, the universe, a death and rebirth. This is birthing anew. The solstice gateway is creating for your planet a reset, like pushing the reset button. The void occurs before this happens, so reach down into the depths of your inner womb, the creation point, and be still there for a while. From Thoth Merlin. So we are being called to find comfort in this space, This is a point of creation. In the void, you can create anything from that space. So this is an opportunity to go within and ask yourself, what is it that I want to create? What am I birthing from this space? And when I have shed all that no longer serves me, what is left? What am I creating from the truest parts of me? It's sort of like when you reset your TV or your computer, it has to shut down and pause for a moment. That was the energy of the eclipses, shedding, deleting what we are no longer aligned with. But when it restarts, it is operating better than it was before. So take rest in this void space. Take time to sit in the quiet and feel gratitude for this reset. I invite you to feel gratitude. I invite you to feel curious about what is coming next. Instead of being fearful, you can be excited. It is really up to you because you choose your frequency. You have so much power over your mind when you practice doing so. So you can choose to feel excitement in the anticipation of this reset, and you can choose to use this space of nothing, of being in the womb, to be still and ask yourself what you truly want to be birthing. You have space to sit with that and just know that you are being guided, that this too shall pass, and you can feel gratitude for this time to be able to be quiet and just be. The second theme in my recent channeling is a big one, and it is all about polarity. So I will read some excerpts of what came through on this topic, and then I'll channel a bit more about it. Be in the energy of your hearts. As this oneness exists, so does polarity. Polarity occurs as to define oneself on this plane of existence. However, multidimensionality on higher planes of existence occur as interconnected, as one. Polarity exists for learning, for creating a dichotomy within the self. But you can see that within you, there is more than one voice. The id, some would call it, the conscious and the unconscious. There is polarity within you, which also exists outside of you. It is a mirror image, a reflection. The outside is a reflection of the inside, the microcosm as it relates to the macrocosm. We want you to understand this because the deeper you go within to discover, to explore the polarity that lies within you between the conscious and the unconscious, when you can marry the two, when you can have them exist simultaneously, loving one another in balance and harmony, creating space for each other, not one ruling the other, but living harmoniously, that will be reflected. You will start to see that reflected on the outside in your lives. Create space for the awareness within to explore these possibilities of loving the self, loving the subconscious, the unconscious, the inner child within you. It is marrying these two. It is creating space for all, not drowning one out, but having them work harmoniously together. We would like for you to interchange these polarities, meaning let one come through more strongly to see what occurs than the other. Give each a voice to see what they are trying to say. The shadow self needs to come forward to receive the light. Give it space to come through in the void. What we are saying is, in the void, you can maintain space there to explore these possibilities. From Thoth, Merlin, and they said, "We love you." I thought this was really beautiful because it touches on how the polarity within ourselves is reflected and manifested physically in our lives. So the message here is to focus on the polarity within you, the conscious and the unconscious mind. Often the unconscious mind can be running our lives before we have awakened to it. And even after we have discovered that it can be undermining our goals or disrupting our lives from the shadows, we can have a tendency to judge our shadow, to feel resentment towards the wounded parts of us. But this is saying to give love to both the shadow and the light, the unconscious self and the conscious self, not to drown out one or the other, but have them work harmoniously together, to love both equally. And they're saying when we can do this, when we can release any judgment and love both our shadow and our light, we will see that start to reflect on the outside of ourselves. Less conflict, more harmony, more acceptance, and less needing others to be like us. It's accepting the polarity, not judging it. Now, I want to read something to you on the subject that I channeled. This is on polarity from the Pleiadians and Lyrans. You are freeing yourselves from the minds of worry, from the thought forms that no longer serve. The war between dark and light is within yourselves. It is not an external force waiting to be fought. It is within your minds, within the microcosm of your bodies, within the entire universe. You are reflecting outward what is going on within. The dark and the light is not to be fought. It is not a war, but it is a balance, a temperance, a give and take, a learning to live with the other with love and compassion. The polarity exists not to be fought, but to just be, to allow one and the other to exist, not needing the whole to be the same, the yin and the yang existing peacefully together, not fighting for one or the other as best, but both are complete and whole as they are, the dark and the light, the shadow self and the higher self, coexisting beautifully in the delicate balance of nature. You can see this is happening within some of you already, learning to love the shadow, learning to bask in the light, not needing to do or be anything, simply existing in the glory of love. Being in the heart space allows you to tap into that, to just being once in a while, to just existing, knowing all that I am is enough. All that you are is everything. All is nothing. All is intertwined as one. And then they showed me, like, if you had one big marble and you bounced it on the ground and it split into millions of tiny marbles, they made me understand that that's us, that we're all made of the same stuff. And then they said, energetically intertwined, it is a dance. The meaning behind it is, you can be fruitful in your thinking about your desires already manifested. It all exists in this cosmic web. Pull that towards you with your frequency. Allow it to shower you with love. From the Pleiadians and Lyrans. This message reinforces that we are to release judgment and the need for others to share our beliefs, to love all and understand that we are all connected and all one. Polarity has a purpose, it is for learning, but can we set aside judgment and love one another despite our different beliefs? Rejecting others is rejecting a part of yourself, and the same goes for within you. As above, so below, our outer reality is a mirror for our inner reality. So it starts with each of us going within and resolving the judgment within ourselves, showing ourselves love, all parts of us. Doing that kind of work within will reflect outward. I know it's hard to do when there's so much injustice and turmoil within the world, but what they are saying is to focus on healing that from within first. Where we should put our focus, especially for those of you that consider yourselves to be light workers or whatever label you feel comfortable with for you, focus on finding the harmony within. Now, this leads me into the final topic I wanted to speak to you about, and that is on who we are becoming and how shifting our perspective on polarity and living from a more open-hearted place of love, acceptance, and compassion is guiding you to your authentic self, where you will feel the most fulfilled, the most joy, and the most peace. Mary Magdalene came through with a beautiful message on becoming who you truly are. And after I read that to you, I'll share with you a little exercise she had me do that brought me so much peace and allowed me to exercise what she is saying here. Mary Magdalene wishes to speak a collective message. You are free, my dears. You are free. You are whole. Collective message is you can be in this energy, speaking freely, dressing as you like, harmonizing with your spirit to create an abundance of joy within your heart by being your authentic self. Your authenticity precedes your truest joy, meaning just trust and be yourself. That is scary at times for some of you. What if they laugh? What if they judge me? But to that I say, let them. You cannot be in holy matrimony with the self while also pleasing others. They are projecting their own insecurities onto those around them. Their healing is up to them. We want you to go forth and be your authentic selves. Create space for harmony for your body, mind, and spirit. What do you create from that space? Pure connection, loving the self. Creating from that place of love and joy within you, what can you create today that shows you your authenticity? Play, darlings. Your inner child knows who you are. The authentic self connects the inner child, the subconscious, to the human you are today, the conscious. Polarity exists within you when you cannot feed one or the other. Allow them both to play and feel free. Freedom lies in this. We are grateful for the becoming of who you are, for in that space brings a returning to new earth, to love. Your brethren await, so be the example. Keep tuning into your hearts and create from there. We love you. We love your joy that emanates when you are being your truest self. When you give him, her, them a voice to be in their full expression. Just sit in that for a moment. Be clear in your authentic self and the power that lies there. That was really beautiful. So again, the polarity is being addressed, and what I love about this message is we are being told what is to come from loving all parts of ourselves. We return to who we truly are. Our inner child knows who we are, and when there is wounding there, we can lose or suppress parts of ourselves. But loving all of it gives us the confidence to shine brightly with who we are, despite what anyone might think. It's about pleasing yourself and valuing that over pleasing others. Being your authentic self is freedom. It's joy. It's like releasing the shackles and giving zero fucks, and that is so freeing. We all have parts of us that are being illuminated right now, and the way to freeing yourself is to show your shadow some love and to play. What's beautiful about this is the more you become who you truly are, the more others will as well. It's like a domino effect, and it's contagious. Just imagine you are a bright light and your light touches all those you are connected to, and that lights them up. So Mary Magdalene is saying to have the courage to express your truest self, to be the example. And that is what is leading us into this new earth 5D reality. Now, after I channeled this, Mary Magdalene said to me, collective message is a beautiful one for the masses. Now you will be called to go within to see for yourself what lies within you. What are you calling in? What are you creating, Michelle? This goes for you too. Practice what you preach. So I said, okay, I will do that right now. And the experience was so beautiful. I uncovered things that I am birthing into my life that I didn't even realize I still wanted. It brought me so much peace, and I want to share that with you. So If you just want to take a moment to ground yourself into your body, you can pause this if you need to go find a quiet place for just a few minutes. Okay. Ground into your body and breathe. Bring awareness to your breath. Imagine that you are in an empty space, a void, nothingness. It is quiet here. Nothing to worry about, nothing to think about, just an empty black space. You are in the womb. Just sit in that for a while and breathe. And then ask yourself, what am I calling in? What am I creating? And just let the answers flow in. And most importantly, allow yourself to receive without judgment, but just observe and sit in that space as long as you need to be. Now, I will leave you with an excerpt from a channeled message from my guides. Just live this human experience. Play the part you came to play. Be who you are. Like characters in a play, you were all cast here by yourselves to be in this moment, playing this part here and now. Allow yourselves to move into this role as this character and allow what comes forth to happen. Resistance channels fear and restricts you from being able to tune into the authentic self. So allow, breathe, allow yourself to move into it with kindness, without fear, without judgment, but with joy, excitement, curiosity, and be who you are. Thank you so much for listening, sending so much love and oneness to all of you from my heart. I really appreciate you being here on this planet at this time, and we are all in this together. So if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe and share. And if you have any questions or you want to share how you're feeling right now during these current energies, I'd love to read what you have to say in the comments. My website is currently being birthed as well, so in the meantime, if you would like to inquire about a personal channeling session or a healing session, feel free to contact me at oracledivine.michelle@gmail.com. You can also find me on Instagram at oracle_divine, where I share channeled collective messages, and there is a link there to more information about working with me. So until next time, I wish you love and heart-opening energy. Ciao for now.